All right, Mateo, what's up, man? We got a big game to talk about. We pulled out a win against the Pacers, who, in my casual opinion, are a pretty good team. So, break it down for us, brosk.
What up, dude? Lakers got the very good win over the Pacers last night, 105-100. It was at Staples Center. This is a great game, man. Kyle Kuzma had by far his best game of the season. And he's given us a lot of great efforts this year, but most of the time it's because he does a really good job on the boards and he does good defense. Well, he did all that tonight. But this time he did his scoring. We saw like that rookie Kuz kind of scoring potential. He had 15 for us in the fourth quarter. He led the team in points on the night in 24, which is great because LeBron only had 18 and Schroeder only had 11. So this is one of those nights where we need the role players to step up. And we got it from Cruz, man.
You know what I noticed? LeBron's also like alternating like good game, bad game. Good. It's weird, and like LeBron's just like his age is kind of showing in that way. A little bit.
I saw that, and I've seen that in the stat lines too. I know what you're saying. Like he'll have 30 something one night, and then you'll look back, and then it'll be like, oh, he only had 18. Hey, if we can get the wins without LeBron expending more energy, that's great because we all know playoffs are what really defines a team's legacy and a player's legacy. So that's why LeBron will kind of be a little inconsistent during the regular season. Why go full blast when the playoffs are the real thing that matters,
Yeah, absolutely.
So in this game, Malcolm Brogdon was actually the one lighting us up. Domantas Sabonis did pretty well, but Malcolm Brogdon looked like fucking MJ out there, dude. I know, Malcolm fucking Brogdon turned into the GOAT, but he had 18 in the first quarter, and he finished with 23 at the half. So he just couldn't miss from the field.
He can play, man. He can play.
He can, and I think him leaving Milwaukee, what's happened since Brogdon left Milwaukee, they got beat in the second round. They made it all the way to the conference finals, and he's a really good compliment to Giannis. No, he can create his own shot, he can facilitate a bit. So Pacers definitely got a good acquisition when they signed him in free agency.
I'm happy we won this one because the Pacers were down a lot of guys too. So,
they were?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think they
were down LeVert and they were down TJ Warren. That's right.
I mean, that's a pretty big part of their team. Yeah, and Miles Turner is kind of like useless out there. So
defensively, he's pretty good. Another thing about this game, we were trying to go for some big momentum swinging blocks in the first half, and they blocked it every time. THT tried a couple. Kuz tried one, and they looked like clean blocks too. So that was one source of frustration in the first half. We were getting slaughtered in points in the paint, 39-20 at the end of the half. We were just breaking wide open threes. We still don't have Mark. He's still in COVID protocols. We don't know if it was contact tracing or if he actually got it. I'm starting to think he actually got it, dude. I think he got COVID because it's been 10 days. Schroeder took about 10 days to clear protocols with contact tracing. But Mark, it's been more than 10. So it makes me think, I'm a little concerned. These protocols have been really fucking us up the last couple weeks, 3 weeks maybe. Every time we've gotten a rhythm, a new guy comes down with them. And so
he's also an older guy. Like, it might affect his gameplay too. That'll suck,
It really would if he got COVID, dude, because even Jason Tatum, a much younger guy, said it affected his play. It affects your stamina. It affects your breathing, getting up and down the court. If we're going to make a deep playoff run, stamina is key. So I hope he didn't get it, man. And especially him being older and much slower than he used to be. Mark's always been actually kind of slow. but yeah. So I'm thinking that might be what's going on with Mark. But
yeah, you got to talk about Sabonis too, man. Because I feel like after the All-Star break, do you feel like he had like just like a momentum boost, like confidence, like because he did pretty well,
He did, and that happens for guys. They'll go in the All-Star break, and then they'll see they'll play in the game, and if they can hold their own against the league's best in a premier game like that, given no one's really playing defense, but it gives you confidence for sure. And I definitely have my eye on that. Sabonis was murdering us in the paint. He's just a good player, dude.
He's great, man. He really is. Yeah, I like.
Yeah, and he helped you out last night too. Your big night.
Yeah, it was a cool night for me. Just like basic. I mean, Kuzma really did his thing, though. It really was Kuzma. I mean, he must have had a big. I didn't watch the second half, dude. I kind of just tuned out, and then out of nowhere, you told me, Kuzma was wrapping him up, and I was like, oh goodness.
Because bro, it was looking bad after that first half. It was just looking like the same old story that we've been dealing with. Like
Yeah,
these guys are getting wide open shots, but KCP and West were not hitting them. Man, they've been really bad from three. Markieff Morris though, he's been hitting his threes, so shout out to him. He's the only
talking about. Sorry to interrupt, but you've been talking about that all season. How we we constantly just trail and like we let dudes get ahead of us, and then we just come back.
It's part of our plan, and we saw it in the playoffs too. We kind of like to take it easy in the first half or first quarter. LeBron especially, he likes to feel out a team, kind of see what they're doing. He's not going to be as offensively aggressive in the first quarter, first half. Okay. But if it's when it's winning time, he always steps up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it seemed like the same old story in the first half, man. It seemed like we were just going to miss open threes. We were just not going to have enough personnel to, eke out this win. We were down 5-10 most of the game, but it was in the fourth quarter when Kuzma showed up that things really started to turn, man. He was just he hit a couple good threes. He got some really good drives to the hoop when the game was still in the balance, Like we had just come back. I think we had just recaptured the lead. But the Pacers had a little momentum themselves, so it could have turned the other way. But Kuz put this shit on his back, dude. He went nuts in the fourth, and we ended up getting the win. What I also like to see was after Kuz kind of had his mid-fourth quarter run, we got some really clutch buckets from Montrez. We got like a really good and one from him. And we also got some good stuff from Schroeder. So even though Schroeder had a quiet game, Trez had a really good game. He had 17, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks on 8 of 11. So he puts out a lot of good games for us, man.
They've been stepping it up, man. These past couple games, they've really been stepping it up. I mean, big time. And I thought, maybe against the Kings, those games are usually like pretty, they're just pretty crazy high scoring matches. But the Pacers, I think, are a good squad, but maybe the East just isn't that good. I don't know.
Well, the top of the East is pretty decent. I think Brooklyn and Philly, when they're healthy, they're pretty formidable opponents. But yeah, the rest of the East is a lot more uncertain. I don't think the Bucks are as good this year. The Celtics have definitely had their up and downs. Yeah, the Celtics have just been getting hit with protocols, and Tatum got COVID, like we talked about. So they're a little more uncertain too. But the West is most certainly deeper than the East, and it's been that way for like 20 plus years now. That's just the way it's always been, man.
Especially with the Suns too. Now
I know every year it seems like there's a new, someone switches the team, somebody takes a jump in their career, but it seems like every year you have there's 15 teams in the conference, and you got 13 of them contending for a playoff spot. And you look at the standings now, I think the 8th seed is, it's like a 3-game difference or something. So, hey, a good week or a bad week from any of those guys, I think it could change quick.
Very true. And I was laughing so hard because I was watching Draymond on one of those morning shows on ESPN, and he was like, yeah, man, we got a great squad, just boasting about the Warriors. Man, they got smashed by the Clippers. That was embarrassing, dude. What the hell was that?
Yeah, he's doing the good PR for his team.
Yeah.
The thing with the Warriors, once Clay went down and once they started losing their role players, I'm like, okay, they still got Steph and Draymond. Those are good. But who's going to play some defense,
Yeah, I only mentioned
Trey will play defense, but they need the other guys too as well.
I thought they would be a bigger challenge for us this year. I thought Steph at full power would be better, but can you believe they had Dre do a full Subway ad in the middle of his interview? I couldn't believe that, bro. That was the most.
I didn't see that, but that sounds hilarious and believable.
It was horrible. Oh yeah, but it was amazing. I was just laughing at him. Yeah, let's talk about a real team, the Lakers. Anyways, so who do we have next?
Before we go on to who we have next, I'll just say that Anthony Davis, it was announced that he'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. And so that we've hit that 4-week mark that we were initially given after that Denver game. So this reevaluation isn't a surprise. If you remember, we had Youssef on, my friend who worked as an athletic trainer and a foot and ankle specialist. Mm-hmm. We had him on to talk about the Anthony Davis injury. So check out that episode if you haven't already. Yeah. He said this kind of thing takes 4 to 6 weeks to heal. So this extra 2-week evaluation, that shouldn't be a surprise. It's great that AD's getting more rest, and I think the Lakers are handling this the right way. And but I would just like to see the team at full strength. being at full strength when the playoff comes is all that really matters. But I want to see us be full strength. You know, let's not burn all the oil right now, but I would just like to see us look dominant again, you know. And we need AD, we need the whole squad there. So I'm patiently waiting for that day, dude.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I know you are and I'm a Laker fan, man, and but you're a diehard and a lifelong, and it's like the thing is, I'm just not worried about it. I know when AD comes back, we're just gonna like smash some Bulls, like and probably make the playoffs again. But I know it's tough watching the games singularly,
Yeah.
watching us have these close games where it's like, damn, can we just like have some type of cohesion without an MVP? But that was our trade-off. We kind of said, all right, we'll have two juggernauts and try and form a squad. It's just strange that like Kuzma's just fallen off so much. It's like this shouldn't be like such a surprise for us, but it is. I mean,
well, Kuzma's been great this year. I mean, I think he's been having the best relative to his expectations.
Really? Okay.
Because he's made strides as a rebounder and a defender, dude. But okay. If by falling off you mean like the promise that we saw his rookie year of his scoring, and exactly. What we've actually seen, there's definitely been some fall off there, which is why tonight was amazing because we all remember Kuz as a rookie, and then seeing him come back and just give us that clutch ass scoring performance, we're like, that's why we love this kid. That's why we believe it. He's our dude. Like the Lakers exceptionalism, and he just goes to another level when I see like Kuz play well. It's like the guys that we draft when we see him play well. I'm like, that's just for the fucking Lake show, bitch. That's right.
It is awesome. I wanted to buy a Kuzma jersey. I was like, it'd only be right. It's like he won me first. So
after last night, you could probably afford to, man. Get that Mamba edition.
Mamba edition. Kuzma.
You might owe Kuz. One more quick thing about AD.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad he's getting enough time to rest. That's ultimately the most important thing. But I do want him to get back in time before the playoffs to build some on-court chemistry with our new guys. With the year being so weird with having to deal with COVID, the schedule's a lot more condensed, and we're playing a lot more back-to-backs and games with one day in between. Because in a normal NBA schedule, you'll have weeks where you got like, okay, we got a game and then we got a rest day. But a lot more times you'll get more 2-day rest. You'll get more times where there's 2 days of rest or 3 days of rest. And I looked at the second half of the schedule, dude, and that's just non-existent. This last half of the schedule is just we have 1 day in between the next game, or it's a fucking back-to-back. So, we were really looking forward to this All-Star break, but I wonder what our team is going to look like health-wise, with COVID protocols. Our injury is going to get re-aggravated in, say, like a week or two. What are we going to look like in a week or two? Because we're still in this like schedule grind. But another side effect of the year is not having practices. So I want AD to get his rest, but I also want him to get back in time so he can use that time to gel with the team before we ramp up for the playoffs. Because I don't want it to be the first round and then seeing more stupid turnovers like we have been. I think that's a symptom of not having as much practice. We've been seeing a lot more like dumb turnovers, miscommunications defensively too than we did last year. I think a side effect of that is not having practice. So I think
I'm a little worried about Morris too, man. He's a little older and he's been playing a bit harder lately, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't think his longevity is something viable. So
he's not going to be on our team long term. Maybe this year, maybe next.
Oh no. Okay. See, I'm so like, I don't know how that works. So we're just using him for a little bit.
I don't think there's an expectation of Morris to be on the team long term, really. But for this current core, this current title run, I think he's a good piece for it. And people were kind of dumping on him because he wasn't defending well and he wasn't hitting his threes. And when he's not doing that, he's just kind of useless out there. Like we need you to hit threes when you're open. And we need you to play decent defense. But when Anthony Davis isn't out, players have to do more than they're expected of. But when AD comes back in, I expect Morris to, be at the 4. He'll handle those stockier kind of 4s. He'll handle someone like PJ Tucker. He was great against him in the Rockets series. So, when AD comes back, man, the piece is just going to fit together. And I hope when he does come back, we have the rest of the squad. No COVID protocols, no little nicks and bruises. KCP's kind of been dealing with some lower leg stuff like ankle. I hope he's going to be right by the time playoffs come around because he was a crucial role player for us. He was probably our third most consistent player all year last year. So we need a good Pope. We need LeBron, of course, who we'll take his health for granted, but we've been pretty fortunate with it. Knock on wood. Health is the thing that's ultimately going to decide our season, man, because I think we have enough right now to win the title. We just need to get fucking healthy. And hey, maybe we'll make a move or two for some insurance, and I'd be open to that as well.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. Okay, when are the playoffs again? When do they start?
So the playoffs this year start in mid-May, which is weird because that's usually when we're doing the second round of the playoffs or the conference finals.
May, huh?
The regular season starts, it ends in mid-May this year.
I like that. That's fun. That's cool.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. I mean, I like having the playoffs during hot weather, I know.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be sweet. Okay. Hopefully it's if it's the lake show in LA, I mean, are they going to be letting people back in, or is the bubble still like restrictive?
Good question. I don't know exactly. I don't know if they're doing a playoff bubble. I feel like it would be wise, but the players are happy they finished the NBA season, but none of them want to do a bubble again just because they don't want to be fucking isolated for 3 months. And it was a real mental grind for every team there. So I don't think the players would agree to do another bubble, honestly.
I mean, every sport is feeling it, and honestly, NBA fans are lucky because MLB is just like a mess after COVID. A lot of teams, like all the games are just getting canceled after canceled. Like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, football, especially NFL. It was really it was really wild. But hey, they managed to get to the Super Bowl. They managed to finish out the year.
Tom Brady. All right. Anyways, yeah.
I'm not a Brady guy, so I can't co-sign on that.
I don't know. I think after the last one, I'm a fan though. He's a beast. He's just
definitely respect his I was gonna say athleticism, but I respect his career.
Yeah, man. All right, brother. So when's the next Laker game?
So we got the Warriors on Monday, and we're playing.
Oh my god, let's go!
The Warriors again. So this is a great opportunity to whoop them, to pad the schedule, and to get that shit back on track. Fuck, man. I hope we get some news about Mark because when no Mark, our rim protection really suffers. Thankfully, who do the Warriors got? They got a weak front line. They got Wiseman, who's having his ups and downs with the year. I think he's in a down part of the year.
He's overrated, man. I don't know about that guy.
Draymond, who's not much of an offensive threat. They don't have much in the way of bigs, so we could probably survive without Mark. But fuck, man, I want to get him back.
The chef will drop 40 on us or something like that. But
hey, let's see. Our perimeter defense has been all right. I think we did okay on them last game.
Okay, let's see, man. It'll be an exciting one. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it right now. My casual prediction. I mean, we're gonna smash them. I think it'll probably be a fun game. But I mean, there's no way we can't. I mean, I watched that Warriors Clippers game, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah,
there's no way we can't smash.
The Warriors are always in danger of getting their ass whooped. I feel like they got to get good defensive efforts, and then they also got to get a lot from Steph. And when one of those two doesn't come through, then they have a low margin for error.
I think it'll be a big like LeBron game. I don't know. I'm just feeling that. All right, but let's see, Broski. This was awesome. Thank you, Mateo. See you soon.
Great talking, man. Take it easy.